Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And we can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. Per I am here talking Love Island, episode 5 and 6. Absolutely. I'm just drinking a little water today. Hydration is important, but what is most important is my cup mug. Panel full of cup mugs, panel full of cup mugs. Beer. Love Island edition. And you can get your cup mug or any of our beautiful cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically. So there are no excuses. Get your cup merch. And like I said, Love Island All Stars episodes 5 and 6. Yep, I'm back again to talk all about it. But before I jump into it, y'all know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, all the things so you don't miss a single video. I am here trying my best to give you all the best content that I could possibly give you, and give you all the shows that we could possibly cram into a week or a day or a month or however long. I'm trying to give you all the content that I can here on this TV channel. My promise to you is to give you all the content that I can. And all I ask in return is that you hit the subscribe button. We are trying to get 8,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And I'm going to do my part to give you great content. I just want you to do your part to subscribe. If this is your first time checking me out, thank you. Welcome. Appreciate you very much. And I hope you enjoy. And if you do, hit that that subscribe button. That's all. That's it. It takes zero point 0.5 seconds to hit that. 0.2 seconds, just a second, just bam. Appreciate you. And you can follow all of our other channels. All those links will be in our description below in the link tree. We have 3 other channels that you could listen, you could check out. If you're a fan of drag race, Eurovision Song Contest, or WWE Wrestling, those 3 channels are available for you. Please check out the description to get those links. You can also check out our audio podcast links so you can check us out on the go. And you can also find our Patreon down there as well. So you can subscribe, join our Patreon where you get early access across all 4 channels and exclusive content across all 4 channels. So now that I got all that out the way, let's get into Love Island episodes 5 and 6. Now, I don't know. I'm feeling like I got confused. Like I said, I got these episodes like all at once, and I feel like I might have jumbled some into the other. But I feel like it's like I was watching what I thought was 5 and 6, but I felt like I was 4, 5, and 6. I don't know. I'm just gonna talk about everything I watched today. And if it's some episode 4 in the end that I just missed, that's fine too. We'll just jump in and have all of that, and you'll have a little bit of 4, but definitely 5 and 6, and then we'll come back with 7 and 8. And I know it's some unseen bits that they do, so some shows aren't there, and it's just the unseen bits, and we don't cover the unseen bits because I don't really want to cover the unseen bits. But yeah, let's get into it. So I'm going to slide me on out of the way. Well, not out of the way, but just over. So we could get into this. Well, we left off with these people as our couples, and our couples were Ekansu and Curtis, Olivia and Luca, Catherine and Nas, Elma and Ronnie, India and Scott, and Gabby and Marcel. And we had our singles who were Kaz and our incoming bombshell, Casey. Now, that's where we all left off. That's where the we left off there, but we had a lot of drama happened in between this time, because we had the Ronnie Cass conversation happen where Ronnie and Cass ended up kissing in the secret garden, and we left off with Ekansu and Elma just like, I don't like that they went to the secret gardens. Why did they do that? You know, why would you do that? The only reason you would do that is if you want to do something in private, and it doesn't make any sense. And it was really bad because Ronnie had just kissed Elma right before going into the secret garden with Cass, and then ended up kissing Cass at the same in the secret garden. So Emma was a little upset, a little salty at that. She wasn't mad that they had the conversation because she actually told Ronnie to go talk to Cass, but did not expect him to kiss her, especially right after she kissed him. But here's my thing, and this might be an unpopular opinion, and you all let me know if you feel the same way I feel, or if you feel like I'm off base here. But I found this whole thing between Cass, Ronnie, and Elma a little juvenile on Elma's part, because what show did you sign up for? And this is an all-star, so you've been here before. You know exactly what show you signed up for. You know exactly what was going to happen. You know that the person who you might have a connection with at the beginning might also have a different connection with someone else. And they have to explore said connections. So I'm like, why are we getting mad? I mean, I understand, and hear me out. I understand about the timing of it all. And I agree. The timing of it all, like, you wait, you kiss me, but then 5 minutes later you go and you off kissing somebody else. That's kind of, But let's be honest here, Elle. You told the man that his kisses were shit. Like, before that, you told him that. That's what you said. That's what you said. Those were your words verbatim. And you told all of your girls that he was a bad kisser. And so, in his mind, even though he doesn't say it, I feel like that is ringing in his mind a little bit, that you have told him not once, not twice, but 3 times that his kisses were bad. And then you go around telling all the other people that his kisses were bad. So I'm like, what did you expect? What did you expect from him? What did you like? It, I don't know. If you like somebody and you truly like somebody, why would you tell them that their kisses are bad? Why don't you just try to work on helping them get better? Like, kiss him more often so it could get better. Like, and then maybe after the second or third kiss, like, oh, let's try it like this. Maybe let's try like this. Slow down a little bit. You go too fast. It's a little too rough. You give them some pointers, a tip. You don't tell them that their kisses are bad, but you like him and you want to be like, what? But that's neither here nor there. So Cass goes and she has a conversation with Ronnie, and they end up kissing and making out a lot. Um, and the bad thing is that Cass and Elmo were friends outside of the whole Love Island thing. That they're friends, and so she felt a little hurt. So at first, all of her anger was directed towards Ronnie, which, yes, as it should be, because Cass ain't do nothing but do what you're supposed to do in Love Island. You're supposed to talk to people, get to know each other, try to have connections with people. That's really what you're supposed to do, literally. So, um, yeah, it just felt like it felt like Elma was really hurt about what went down and why they had to go do it in secrecy, why the conversation was in secret, why did he go kiss her. So she was upset with Ronnie. And Ronnie was like, he felt bad, not regret for what he did with Cass, because that's what he's supposed to do, but he felt bad for hurting Alma in the process. And I get that. I get that completely. And Cass felt the same way. She was like, I don't want to hurt my friend, but I don't regret exploring my options and trying to see if there was a connection and, what could happen. Um, so Cass leaves the secret garden and goes right to Alma and let her know that they did kiss. And Alma was upset and she's like, but I thank you for telling me. I appreciate it. He told her the guys are giving him crap for his kissing soiree between Cass and then Alma. And they were going, giving him crap. But Luca was very much trying to make Alma feel better because she was crying, and nobody wants to see anybody cry. But me personally, I was like, why are you crying? Like, you literally, it ain't been 2 days. Why are we crying? That's not your man. It's been 2 days. Just because you're in a couple don't mean that's your man. And you're on Love Island. Why are we crying? You should be talking to other people as well. That is what we do. You're supposed to be pulling people for chats. You're supposed to be talking things out and figuring out, connections. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Why are you coming in on an all stars of no doubt? And you're just like, I see this one guy, that's it, and I'm going to only talk to them and I'm going to put all of my time and attention on this one person right off the bat. Y'all been on the show before. You know what to do. Yes, you're trying to establish a connection with someone so you can stay, but you also need to make sure that there's not somebody who might not surprise you out of the blue, like somebody who you don't think you would have a genuine connection with. You end up having that genuine connection, but so she's mad. She's upset with Ronnie. He tries to apologize. She was like, I just need time. And he gave her space. He's like, I'm just going to give you some space. I want you to have the time to process all of this and understand my words. I apologize for the timing of it all. I apologize for making you upset. All of that. And so he's going to give her space. He's going to give her space. And he does. He even sleeps outside that night because he's going to give her the space that she needs to process everything. People are, it seems to me like people were trying to not take sides, but taking sides. And I felt like most of the people were like feeling bad for Alma because she was crying. And I'm like, I probably would have been on Team Cass. Like, she ain't doing nothing wrong now. What do we mad at her for? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it, but that's just me. That's just me. Um, so so everybody goes to bed that night, still trying to, you know, we had conversations with Olivia and Marcel. They were like, team no drama. They appreciate that. They love no drama. They end up having their first kiss outside of a challenge. And it was brought on by Ekansu, who was urging people to kiss. Just like, kiss her. And they kissed, and it was nice. And they enjoyed it. It was a nice, kiss. Everybody had a good time. We saw Casey and Gabby having their conversations and enjoying getting to know each other more. And actually kissing too. It's kiss fest all around. Everybody's kissing. Everybody's kissing. But everybody goes to bed that night. Like I said, Ronnie sleeps outside to give Alma her space. It's a little frosty in there with Kaz. She's a little frosty with Kaz, and trying to figure out what's going to happen, what they're going to do. So the next day, Alma gets up. She goes out about her day, and now she's gone through the upset with Ronnie stage, and now she's annoyed and upset with Kaz today because she feel like Kaz might have planned that. Like, she saw her and Ronnie kiss. She saw Alma and Ronnie kiss, so Alma feels like Kaz was like, well, I'll go kiss him right now. So she kind of feels annoyed with Kaz and upset because they're friends. And she was like, I feel like she's taking our friendship for granted. Like she's taking my kindness for as a weakness, and she is preying on that and thinking I won't mind. And I just don't like that. And so now she's upset with Kaz, and um, she ends up talking to Kaz, and she's so mad. She tells Cass that she's annoyed with what she did and how she did it. Why did she have to take him to the secret garden? She was like, I just wanted to take him somewhere private. She was like, you could have took him anywhere, like the terrace or somewhere on the other side. Or she's like, it just should have been a private conversation, and I just wanted it to be private. And she was like, that just to me seems like it's a little calculated. I think you planned this, and he said that you initiated the kiss. He didn't initiate the kiss. And Cass is like, no, he leaned into the kiss. I didn't stop him from kissing me, which I could have if I wanted to, but I didn't because I didn't want to at the time. She was like, I don't regret kissing him. I just don't feel like I hate that if I would have known this is going to be the outcome, it was going to hurt you this bad, I wouldn't have done it. And so Elma's like, I think you're calculated. I think you did this on purpose, and I don't like that. And Cass is like, I'm not calculated. This wasn't a calculated thing. The kiss just happened. We were talking and it happened. And I was like, well, why didn't you talk to him out here? Why did you have to go into the secret garden and do it so sneaky? And that just a lot. It was a lot. So she started yelling at Cass. And of course, Cass gets defensive and starts yelling back at her. And everybody's like, oh no, they're fighting. The girlies are fighting. And they're like, no. And so Emma just like, no, she storms off. She's like, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. And so Cass is very hurt and she's confused. She goes off with Gabby and they're talking. And she's like, what am I supposed to do? Just stand there and let her yell at me and say that I'm being calculated when I'm not? I don't think that's fair. This isn't something that I've planned. And Gabby was like, yeah, I get it, but you might need to just let her vent it out. And she's like, but I'm supposed to sit there and take it. And it was like, no, I mean, Gabby's trying to be the good peacemaker, but I think she really wants to be Team Cass. To me, in my opinion, I think she wants to be Team Cass and be like, "Girl, you ain't do that wrong," but she also wants to be good friends with Elma as well. So they're talking, and in the midst of the talking, Elma walks in, and so her and Cass go at it again and talk. Well, not go at it, but they start talking again, and Cass has reiterated her point where this is what she felt. And Gabby was not Gabby. Cass was like, this is not what it was. My intention wasn't to be sneaky. My intention wasn't to be calculated. And to hear you say that when you know me, that's just hurts. And Alma was like, well, that's how I felt. And that was what it was in that moment. And they were like, well, just we got to agree to disagree at this point and just walk away and not deal with it. Because I'm getting heated. We're getting heated. Let's just calm it down. So they take a break from each other. And it is obvious that both of them are hurt by this. They're hurt because they are friends and they do want to, they don't want to fight, especially over an old man. They're like, we don't want to fight over an old man. So, but they have to calm down. They have to process everything and come to a conclusion on, well, once they process it, come back together and figure this out, come to a resolution about this. So it's just a lot. It's a lot to deal with. Everybody's on edge. Ronnie's still trying to figure out what to do. Like how, he's like, she is the person who I do want to be with. She would be my number one in this, but I do still want to explore options with other people, and I don't want to be able to not do that and hurt her at the same time. And I'm like, I get it. I get what he's trying to say, and I get what everybody's trying to say or do. It's like you want to explore your options. You can't just latch onto the first person that comes in and think that this is going to be the person you ride the whole thing out with. It has to have some layers, or it just doesn't seem real. And Cass is like, all I'm trying to do is put myself out there. I had Curtis, he got stolen. I'm single right now, so I'm talking to everybody. I'm not gonna talk to Casey because me and him have a history that we just it's not gonna work. So I'm just trying to talk to everybody. Ronnie is someone who I would love to talk to and get to know, and I understand that you are in a couple with him, but that doesn't make him yours. And I want to enjoy it, see, it's just a lot. And Love Island is a lot. And what bothers me is that these girls are getting so emotional and they act like they don't know what show this is. And it's just like, ugh, you can't get mad over somebody you've been with for 2 days or 3 days at this point. Like, you just can't. You just can't. And I get why it's really on the girls right now, because the girls are the ones who are, you know, I mean, right now it's the equal amount of people in the house. It's equal amount of men to the equal amount of women, but everybody don't like the same people, and certain people like the same people, and so it's nobody wants to go home first. Nobody wants to be in the one person that's not in a couple or a true couple or real couple, and so it's kind of like, okay, well, we'll see. So we we go through all of the things and all of the things. Let me be more specific. More conversations happen. I think everybody ends up talking again. We see a conversation with Scott in India, and they're having their moments. They're like, this is good. We're comfortable with each other. We're at a place where we like just hanging out with each other and getting to know each other in a different manner than just being friends. So this is nice. We saw the Marcel and Olivia having moments together. Um, we saw Nas and Catherine having talking finally. Um, I need the producer to get better on that edit so we can see that relationship and how it's going. We get a little bit more later, but not as much compared to what we've seen with other couples. Um, so the everything goes really, normal conversations here and there. We get changed for the night, and everybody is getting ready for what the party or whatever. And this was the party that was sponsored by eBay, an eBay party. But no, it's a party nonetheless. They're going to go out, they're going to have a good time. um they're getting dressed, they get to the party, everybody's still a little oof, but still want to have a good time. Conversations again are had by Ronnie and Elma. Ronnie talks to Cass, wants to make sure she's okay. Talks to Elma, wants to make sure she's okay. He apologizes still profusely about what happened. He don't regret what he did, but he hates that he hurt people. That's his whole thing. Cass and Elma goes off to talk, and they squash their beef. Thankfully, they're like, we're not gonna fight over no man. We are better than that. I want you to, Kaz is saying, I want you to be happy. I think Ronnie is a great guy, and I want you to be happy with him. And so I am not going to be in the way of things. I'm backing off. That's you. And yeah, that's it. And Kat, I was like, thank you. I appreciate that. I hate that we even fell out about this. Um, and even in this whole thing, Elma still was like, I can't believe we're fighting over Ronnie and he's such a bad kisser. And I'm like, oh my God, do you really like this man? You still say, I don't know. I am not on the Elma train right now. I'm not, be honest, I'm not. I'm not feeling her. I'm not digging her. I think she's annoying. I think she's frustrating. I think she's petty. And I think she's getting mad for something that she already knew was going to happen. And it makes no sense. Like, poor Ronnie. He is not going to be able to talk to anybody from this point on without her having a full blown meltdown. And that's frustrating. I personally, if I was a dude, she would have to go. I'm like, yeah, no, we can't. I can't. Even if it means I'm going to be in trouble to leave, I just couldn't. I couldn't do it because honestly, every time I have a conversation with another woman, it's going to cause you to freak out and meltdown. I don't want that. Don't want it. I don't want it. I do not want it. Just the same way if I have a conversation as a girl and I talk to this other guy and the boy who I'm with is constantly jealous, like, why are you talking to him? What? I'm like, baby boy, no, I don't need that. I know I need us to be adults. I need us to know what we came in for. I need to know what everybody to know what show this is so they can deal with it accordingly. That's what I need. But it is what it is. We do see we like I said, the conversations are flowing throughout. Everybody's talking. Curtis and Eccleston are getting closer and closer, like they're more. It's sweet. And so we get a text from Catherine gets a text to tell everybody to go to the fire pit, and they find out that it's going to be a recoupling. A recoupling is going to happen, and we are going to find out who is going to be with whom. So Casey gets the first pick. I didn't put this in order of the actual picks, but Casey does get the first pick. But our new couples after the recoupling is Ekisu and Curtis stays together. Nobody thought that was changing at all. Catherine and Nas stay together with good speeches from Curtis and Nas, by the way. Really sweet. India and Scott stay together. Nobody's surprised by that. Ronnie chooses Elma to stay with. He said she was his number one, and he picked her and proved that. So good on him. Kaz ends up with Luca. This was pretty much the very last pick. She was the last girl. Luca was the last guy. They just ended up together. Olivia is with Marcel, and Gabby is with Casey. And those are the couples. Those are the couples. So good on them. That's the couple. And yeah, those are the couples. And so the couples are that. And everybody's happy. Everybody, at this point, everybody is made up. Everybody's good. Elmo was like, oh, I didn't expect you to pick me. I'm like, he shouldn't have, but he did because you are his number one, and he said it. But honestly, he shouldn't have, in my personal opinion. Now, other people might agree that they should be together, but I personally wish he would have left her. It's just because she's just so annoying to me. That's me. That's my personal issues. I just find her a little annoying. But yeah, she's like, I'm just very surprised. Um, like I said, Luca and Kaz just ends up together. She was the last one picked. He was the last one to pick. Um, and she's kind of like, I'm not trying to close the door on anybody right now. So I might open myself up to getting to know Luca and see what he's about because he might surprise me, which I'm like, yeah, absolutely. People might surprise you. And so we go into the next episode. We see everybody talking after the recoupling. We finally get more Nas and Catherine. Catherine is like, I appreciate your speech, because Nas is like, I'm very much a slow burner type of guy. I don't like just come out of the gate, as he says, lipsing people. And it's like, it's just, I'm a slow burn, but I do enjoy our time together. I enjoy getting to know you more. I enjoy the conversations that we have. It's really nice, and I'm enjoying this time. And so Catherine was like, I love that, because, sometimes you wonder, because you don't share your feelings so much. So when he does share his feelings, she was like, I take that into consideration. I'm very much like, yeah, it worked. And so he was like, yeah. And so they do end up kissing, which I was like, oh, okay, good for them. That's sweet. Who else? And then they were interrupted by Marcel and Olivia. They were on the terrace, and then they came in on the terrace like, oh, hey, hi, were you all? And so Marcel was like, was y'all lipsing up here? And he was like, and Nas was like, were you coming to lips? Like, is that what you were doing? And Marcel was like, I'll tell you if you tell me. And so Marcel was like, I mean, I came to lips. And so Nas was like, she was like, okay, well, we lips. And they're like, that's so good. Olivia and Catherine were like, oh my God, you kissed. That's so great. And I was like, I just love how girls are so excited about the little things. It's so wild. Uh, but yeah, they were excited. But then Catherine and Nas leaves, so Marcel and Olivia can stay and talk. And of course, they end up talking about how happy they are that they end up together finally. They wanted to be coupled up, and now they are, so they can share a bed together. It's going to be nice. They end up kissing. Great on that. We see everybody is, pretty much like cool. Cool. Everybody's happy again. One big happy family. Everybody, no drama, no beef. Alma's happy, Ronnie's happy, Kaz is happy, everybody's happy. Kaz is as happy as she can. Luca is happy as he could be. I mean, not like over the moon, because they don't really, haven't had a conversation like that. So now they are. So that's that. They get ready for bed. Um, not Casey. Gabby is like, I'm not putting on sexy clothes for him. I'm putting on my big oversized pajamas like I always do. I'm going to bed. And everyone's like, oh, girl, put on some lingerie. She's like, no. It's a girl, which I get. Like, you just hooked up, connected, coupled up with this person. I'm not going to be on the first night all naked underneath the covers with him. No, thank you. We'll have some respect, some decorum, if you will, about ourselves, ladies. Let's have some decorum. Let's show these guys that we are worth the fight. Like, it's a mystery. It's a mystery. So they go off into their beds, and everybody goes to bed. Everybody goes to bed. There's some kissing going on between Curtis and Nick and Sue. A little bit between Scott and India. Yeah, that's about it. And that night, everybody's going to sleep though. The next day, the next day, everybody was out, making coffees, working out, getting some sun. And that is when we find out that a new bombshell has entered the villa. Well, not quite entered the villa, but she is here. And she wants to go on a date with three guys. And so she sends a message, and the message is, Nas, Scott, and Luca, please get dressed and be ready to leave the villa for your dates. And so, of course, but India and Catherine and Kaz it's a little, well, not really Cass. Cass is like, whatever, it is what it is. But India and Catherine are like, oh, okay. Well, well, Julie, it is what it is. We gotta watch our men go off on a date with someone we don't even know who it is. But they're all, Scott goes over, gives India a kiss, let her know everything is great. He's gonna be fine. The text said something about blast from the past, so everybody was like concerned that it was one of the exes. So they're like, oh no, they were scared. But they go get dressed. They go to their dates. The first person to go on a date is Luca, and that is where we meet Tina. Tina's here. She's in the building, and yeah, Tina's here. And so Luca comes in. He doesn't know who she is. He's like, "Oh, thought you were an ex." She's like, "No, no, not an ex, but glad you're here. Welcome." Um, so Tina's here. Her and Luca have a really good conversation. They meet at this picnic overlooking the mountains and the water. It's beautiful scenery, beautiful setup. Have orange juice and fruits and things. So they get to talking and they're talking about, what she's looking for, her interests, her taste. Just, typical first date stuff. Why did she pick him? She let him know that she was just intrigued by him. She thought he was fit. And she wanted to get to know him. She was interested in him. He seems like an interesting character, so she wanted to know more about Luca. And they seem to have a really good, good time, a good connection, and it was nice. It was a nice, nice date, a really nice date between the two of them. Up next was Nas. He comes in, pretty much the same thing. Um, Why'd you pick me? What's your type? She's like, I don't really have a type. I just go off of personality and vibes and how I feel with this person. And it was just like, oh, okay. It was more of a, how do I feel? Is this is this something that I would want? Is this someone who I would want to spend some time with? So it was interesting. It was interesting to see this dynamic between her and Nas and her and Luca. And she said she found him attractive. That's why she picked him. All of that stuff. And then her last date was with Scott. And this was the blast from the past because apparently she was on the season with Scott and she came in so late of the season. Her and Scott really didn't have um, a chance to actually have a time to get to know each other. Um, he was fully in with the person he was with, and she got called some names for pulling Scott, for talking to him. Apparently, she was called basic at one point, and a maiden from somewhere. She had, and I mean, calling her a basic calling her basic. I was like, I mean, I can see it. I'm not going to. She's kind of basic, but she's beautiful though. She's pretty, but she could be considered basic in some circles. In some circles, but sometimes basic ain't bad because sometimes people don't want all that extra. Sometimes they just want the simplicity. If you're simple yet effective, it works. And she's stunning. She's stunning. So, her and Scott had a little bit of a relationship that didn't get a chance to, you know, be nurtured because of where he was in the show. And she always felt like he was someone who she wanted to get to know. And it's been a long time since she's seen him. And so she wanted to, take this opportunity. Maybe this was the chance that she lost before. And Scott kind of felt the same way. He kind of felt the same way when it came to how he felt about her and, the opportunity that was missed being with him being in how far along he was in the show. And so he kind of was like, yeah, I think this is a good opportunity for us to possibly get a chance to reconnect. Why not? Why not? Um, and so they had a really nice date. It was really a really nice, good date um, that they had, and you know, I kind of like that for them. I kind of like that for them. Um, it was sweet. It was a good date. I mean, really, it was just a good date. Um, it was a good date. Cannot like I can't I can't say anything different. Um, so they all go back to the villa. Everybody gets to introduce themselves to Tina, and she is, you know, perceived pretty nicely. Nobody's really shading her at all, which is good because she doesn't deserve that. Um, the girls are trying to figure out who she had a good time with. She was like, I had a good time with all of them. Everybody's date was great. Everybody, had a interesting time. I like them all. It's great. Um, Not mad. Like, just not. I like them all. And so she was holding her cards very close to her chest about who she was feeling, who she liked. Um, it was interesting. It was interesting. Um, but she spent her day throughout just still, that night, just, talking to everybody. Ekansu was giving her advice as a bombshell, from bombshell to bombshell. But she was just like, you got to go for what you want. You can't, come in trying to be nice and, don't want to step on toes. That's your job as a bombshell, is to step on toes. And so you have to do it. And she was like, yeah, no, I'm going to figure it out. I just need to take the time tomorrow to talk to all the rest of the guys and see how I feel about them and see what comes, see what happens. And so she does that. The next day, she talks to everybody. She has conversation again with Luca, and more so with Luca because Scott spends a lot of time talking to India, more so reassuring her that everything is good. Um, Everything is great. You're fine. We're good. Um, I mean, he's like, we're good. He said, but I do feel like I do feel like it would be a disservice for me to not, talk to her and give her a chance. It's I don't know. I just feel like uh, we should we should kind of talk and yeah. It's like she was like, oh okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We it's all good if that's what you wanna. That's what you want to do. Uh, Great. Um, sure. She's like, but he's like, but we're still good. We're still good. We're still, we're still a couple. But I kind of feel like I owe this to her, but whatever. And she's like, no, I mean, I don't. It's fine. It is what it is. Um, it was interesting. It was such an interesting dynamic between them. Like he spent so much of the day reassuring her, reassuring her, and reassuring her. Um, but then closer to that evening is when he was like, but I feel like I have to, I feel like I have to get to know her. And I feel like it will be a disservice to me, to you, to us if I didn't, because I feel like we're going through this, like I could, like we're flipping between friends and not friends kind of thing, and it's kind of blowing my mind. Like we've been friends for so long, and I feel like we flip between friends and not friends, and you know, it's wild. But we also see Tina talking to Luca a lot, and her and Luca seem to get along really, really well. Like even the night before, she's in the bed with Luca and Kaz, like they're, he gives, like they kiss out, like he literally goes up to her because he was talking to um Ronnie and Nas. And he was like, I really want to, no, Casey. And he was like, I really want to kiss her. I want to kiss her because they have a challenge. I skipped right on past the challenge because, well, I don't want to skip past the challenge. Yeah, this was the challenge first. Yeah, the challenge happened first. The challenge happened as she got there. It was the suck and blow challenge or whatever. So we're going back and forth. Yeah, yeah, they were going back and forth doing the suck and blow. So the suck and blow happens. That's when that conversation between um, India and Scott happened before that challenge. I'm back on track. Uh, so that happened before that, and so they have the whole suck and blow converse challenge, and um, Tina and Luca end up kissing during that challenge, and she's like, it's a good kiss. It was a good kiss. She enjoyed the kiss. He enjoyed the kiss. He kissed his Kaz during that challenge. He also enjoys the kiss. Um, um, so I'm sorry, I just got a message that confused me for a second. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I just got all distracted. But so they kissed on that. But also what I found very interesting, Olivia ends up kissing Luca through the challenge as well for a question that she got it was truth or dare. So and her dare was to kiss somebody who she would be in a couple without the person who she's already in a couple with. And so she kissed Zach, not Zach. There is no Zach. She kissed Luca, and Luca was like, whoa, that was a really good kiss. And he was like, maybe I shouldn't have dated things with her so early. If I would have known we still had this little spark, this little something, something. And I'm like, yeah, you gotta see things through. But, that's the immaturity in Luca. I think that he's just like, oh no, my boy dated her. I can't do it. So we're going to get that right now. Sometimes your boys trash is your treasures. Sometimes. Um, But yeah, now he's all confused about his feelings for Olivia. He's like, do I have feelings for Olivia? I like her. And he tells Ekansu about that and how he's kind of, you know, feeling Olivia a little bit after the challenge. But he's also still feeling Tina. And so after the challenge, during the challenge though, because it gets hot. So during the challenge, it falls on India to do a truth. And Casey asked her who does she think is the most calculated person in this game? And she says, after tonight, it's Scott. And he's like, wait, what? What do you mean? what do you mean I'm calculated? And she was like, I mean, after tonight, I think it's you. um, and she's like, I don't know, like, why would you say that? He's very hurt. He's very defensive. He's turned on defense mode. And she's like, I mean, what the conversation we just had? You want to talk to, you want to kiss on me, and then now you want to talk to somebody else, and want to get a chance to know him. And he's like, oh, see, that gives me the ick right there. And she's like, oh, I give you the ick. So it just turned into a whole thing with them, a whole thing, like such a thing, and it was bad. It was bad boots, baby. It was bad boots. They nobody. It was bad. She was mad. He was mad. She didn't like that he said she gave him the ick. He felt humiliated and upset that she said he was calculating, and it was just like, phew, they just turned off like from each other, and even though it was honestly like neither one of them looked good to me in this whole thing, because like, I mean, I get her point, and she was like, who else was I supposed to say? Nobody else did anything to me. You just literally told me you wanted to, explore other things with this person. And I just feel like, so it kind of just like, it just kind of, they were not feeling each other in that moment. And he was hurt, and he kept saying he was hurt. He felt humiliated. She was like, I didn't come to humiliate you. I just said my truth, and that was it. And if you're taking it that way, then it is what it is. You just got to take it that way, because that wasn't my intention. But what can I do? It was something. It was something. And then throughout that's when we saw Luke and Tina actually get to kiss, and she, after he just had a conversation with Kaz, and Kaz was like, she was like, I don't want to close it off from us. While we're in this couple, we can explore. She was open to explore, and she was like, and he was like, we can cuddle in bed. And they were like, yeah. She's like, yeah, we can cuddle. He was like, we'll cuddle tonight. She was like, cool. And she was like, we can be like friends with benefits or something. And he's like, all right, cool, bet. But then he went right around to like 5 minutes later and was like, I want to kiss Tina. I was like, man, you just told this girl. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. It's Love Island. You do that thing, I guess. Whatever. So they go and they kiss out in public. Cass sees them kissing. She's like, it's whatever. Not tripping. Not tripping. It is what it is. But Tina enjoys it. They it's nice. It's nice. So we still have the awkwardness between Scott and India. It was weird. But they get ready to go to bed. We hear that Catherine said the kiss between her and us is a solid 9. So he said, like, cool. It was bedtime. It was fine. The next day, same thing. Still awkward between Scott and India. Still awkward. She's trying not to cry because he's like, he felt humiliated. She's like, that's not what I was trying to do. She's like, I don't like that you said I gave you the ick. He was like, I didn't mean you. I didn't say you give me the ick. This situation gave me the ick, and I don't like that. And she's like, I don't know what else to tell you. I said what I said, and I apologized. And he was like, I apologize. He apologized to her. I don't know if she ever actually said I'm sorry, but he apologized to her profusely about saying that she gave him the ick because she said he doesn't, and she's stuck on that. And I think once you tell a girl that they give you the ick, it's like, okay, we are not. can't get past that. Like, I give you the ick. Um, so he kind of was like, okay, well, I will, I don't know what I'm saying. Move on from that. Um, so we do get that happen, that conversation. She's trying not to cry, but she is failing. And the girls are like, oh my God, girl, no, don't cry. It's okay, girl, don't do it. She was like, no, Mama, please don't do it. Don't make a scene. Don't make a scene. Don't make a scene. We get a conversation between Casey and Gabby. She's trying to, because something happened during the challenge where, I mean, it was not a secret, but Casey and Tina actually knew each other, had sex on holiday in Antigua, and then he ended up leaving her at a club by himself, by herself, and she had to get her own way back to the hotel. And he left with a group of girls, and so she kind of was like that. That story came out, and so Gabby was overthinking a little bit. She was like, I don't know if this is the kind of guy I would want to be with. I don't know if this is the type of person who I feel like is who I'm ready to settle down with. And she's like, I don't know. I don't, I don't, I don't know. Like, she just, it's, she don't know. But they do talk. And he's kind of winning her back over. He's winning her over. He's like, she realizes that she might be overthinking all of this. And it's very early to be talking, thinking about if this person is life goals, like lifetime person. It's very early. But she kind of is coming back around, and he's winning her back over. So they are okay. They're okay as of right now. They kids, they're okay. They're good. Excuse me. It's still good with Ekansu and Curtis. They're like the old married couple at this point right now, because Ekansu, baby, is very intimidating. I feel bad for any girl who think they coming in to take Curtis. I'm gonna say that right now, because baby, she is intense. She is intense, and I think she is that type that will be like, oh hell no, mm-mm, mm-mm, you will not, because she asked Tina if she had her conversation with Curtis. Was he flirty? Was he? And she was like, it was friendly. It was friendly. She's like, I mean, tell me the truth. Is he flirty? Was he flirting with you? And she was like, no, he was friendly. It was just friendly conversation, nothing. She was like, okay, all right. I'm like, oh, oh, okay, okay, all right. Um, she was not. She was not going to. She was not playing. She was not playing, and so I don't know how the rest of the season gonna play out, but I swear, if any girl coming for Curtis, that might be a fight on our hands with Ekansu, because she is not playing with none of these beautiful people. She's not playing with y'all. I just found her very intense. I find her very intense. And that's not a bad thing. I just want to see how it plays out. I'm very interested to see how it plays out. But we do get ready for the evening, and everybody is chilling and talking. uh, Still awkward. But in walks the beautiful Maya Jama, and she says, baby, it's time for a couple to emerge from tonight. And Tina, since you are here, you are new, you get to pick the person you want to couple up with. You're going to steal one of these girls' men and go. And she had a conversation with Ekansu before the the fire pit happened, she was like, you have to do what's best for you. You can't be worried about everybody else, worry about nobody else. You only got to worry about yourself. And yeah, she she got up there. She made her choice, and she chose Scott. And she chose Scott. Scott was like not a Superman. He wasn't hurt. He was kind of expected it. Everybody should have kind of expected it. I expected it. But she chose Scott, which means India was dumped from the island. And I'm like, oh, I liked her. I liked her. I liked her a lot. I was not expecting India to get dumped. I was not expecting her to get dumped at all. But she was the first person dumped. And even Maya got a little choked up. I mean, because I know she knows these people. She's been the host, and, she got choked up a little. She had to go and get up out of there before she started crying. And it was sad to see her go. It was sad to see India get the boot. She said her goodbyes. She talked to all of the she cried with the girls. She had a last conversation uh with Scott, and they made amends. It was like, it's fine. I apologize. I never wanted to see you hurt. She was like, I'm not hurt. I'm glad we had this opportunity. I hope you and Tina find that spark and that connection. I only want the best for you. And he was like, I want the best for you. It was nice. It was a sweet, goodbye type of thing. And she said her goodbyes and she left. Had a conversation with Maya on the way out. It was good, like a little talk show moment. And they said their goodbyes. And then it was gone. And that's how the episode that I watched ended. But we did know in the previews there are 2 more bombshells coming into the villa. And so, yeah, 2 more bombshells. A guy and a girl is coming into the villa. So I don't know what to expect. I'm going to go watch it and see what happens. But that's all I got for you guys. I appreciate you. This was like a little bit longer than I thought. But that's fine. I'll talk to you guys all day. I don't mind at all. But we will be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about episode 7, episode 8, and we're gonna get into it and talk some more. Maybe other people will join me. Maybe they won't. I don't know. Who's to say? But I will say this: I will be here to talk about it. And I appreciate if you'll join me in this journey talking about Love Island All Stars. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, let me know. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on your way out. I really, really, truly appreciate you. I appreciate you taking your time to spend it listening to me talking about some Love Island. Um, it's a joy. It's a pleasure for me to do it, and I hope you enjoy it. Follow us on all of our other channels. All those links will be in the description below in the Linktree link, and as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And you can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky and TikTok and Instagram right there. And get your merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. Get it, get it, get it. And if that's all, I'm gonna get out of here. So cheers to you. Cheers.